Peace, YouTube. This is Sean Young, also known as Supreme, back with another episode of Adventures in Wholesaling. And guys, on this episode, we're going to be talking about you want to get into the business, you've got excitement, now what? Now what do you do? Which direction do you go when there's so many different directions to go? Well, I'm here to help you. Guys, the first thing I want to say to you is get a plan in place. Figure out what it is that you do want to do. Do you want to be a real estate agent? Do you want to be a wholesaler? Do you want to, fix and flip? Do you want to try to do, the things you see on the HGTV shows? Figure out your lane before you get started, because what I find is that, so many folks out there hear so many different avenues and hear so many different methods that they actually never take any action because they're too caught up saying, I don't know which way to go or which, method is going to be the most, successful for me to take. So I'm here to tell you guys, if you want to know what, in my opinion, the method that has the lowest barrier of entry, that is wholesaling. Guys, wholesaling is the easiest way to put big chunks of change in your pocket in a very short amount of time. True indeed. You have to know what you're doing. And I'm really getting, I get kind of frustrated nowadays when I see other quote unquote gurus out there or coaches or something that are telling folks, you can do this with no money down, no nothing. You don't need any experience, any nothing. And guys, I'm going to tell you that there's never absolutes. So we never speak in absolutes. However, I'm going to tell you, on average, that's not going to be the case. On average, you are going to have folks, that's just not going to be the case. On average, you're going to have some folks that'll get a deal in their first week, never even heard of wholesaling, and they will get a deal just through the law of attraction or just through the odds, because this is a numbers game. And the better your odds, the more times you play, the better your odds become. However, just like with gambling or with things that have odds attached to them, you could win on your first time out there. But guys, our business is not a gamble. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not something that happens overnight. You have to go at it with a long view before you approach it. And that has to do with having the right mindset. So guys, if you haven't picked up my book out there, Adventures in Wholesaling, make sure you go get that book, because the very first chapter talks about just that, your mindset. Getting your mindset in order before you approach any endeavor in life or business or in any walk that you decide to go down. Get your why in order. Get your mindset in order, and then get your why in order. And of course, your why is what keeps you going when those times get tough. Figure out, why are you doing this? What is your purpose? Do you just want to make a lot of money and, ball out and, buy fancy cars and clothes, which there's nothing wrong with that. But if that's your mission and if that's your journey, is that enough to push you on those days when you don't want to do it any longer? When it's getting tough, when you've gotten so many rejections, you're like, this is just not for me. I think I picked the wrong thing. I'm going to go back and get a job. Your why is what's going to prevent you from failing, or is going to prevent you from having that type of mindset, if you are challenged, with doing our business, which I'm promising you guys, 95 to 97% of you guys will be challenged, and you will not get a deal in your first week, your first 2 weeks. Remove those unrealistic expectations from your brain. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. And guys, it took me 2 weeks and 6 phone calls to get my first deal. 8 phone calls to get my first deal. However, I don't say that my results are typical, and nor do I promote them or say, hey, you can be just like me. If you join my program or follow me. I don't do that, guys. What you want to be in your business from the beginning is a truth teller and a truth seeker. If you do that, things will fall in place for you, guaranteed. So guys, let's rewind a little bit and get back on track. Wholesaling has the lowest barrier of entry. I don't want you to look at wholesaling as so much being in the real estate business, even though there's real estate involved. I want you to more look at it as a pawn shop. And why do I say that? Because when folks go to a pawn shop, they might go in there with a ring that's worth $5,000. but they're in a predicament that has, had them say, you know what, I'm willing to sell this $5,000 ring for $300 because I need $300 like yesterday. That's a motivated seller. The person at the pawn shop, they're not behind the counter going, hey, let me see that ring. Man, that looks good, man. I hope you sell that to me. I mean, they're literally sitting there going, you sell me that ring. You tell me why I should want to even buy the ring. I don't care how low you're selling it for. And that's the same approach and mentality that you have to take when you're doing this wholesaling business. And far too many times I see people just go out there and they're too aggressive. They don't have communication skills. They don't understand that they're talking to regular, real people who actually have a problem that needs to be solved. So if you're not going at this to be a servant, you're going to lose. You're going to fail. You have to approach our business with a servant mentality. You can't say, hey, how much money can I make in this business? How much money am I going to make? You have to say, how many problems can I solve and how many people can I help? When you go at it from that approach and from that angle, you will by default make money, guys. Trust me. I come from a sales background and I was a sales executive before I got into real estate. And some folks say that gives me an advantage because I know sales and I know how to talk to people and I know the whole process. Yes. That sounds great. But let me tell you guys, I just told you a moment ago, we're never selling ourselves. We're never selling folks to sell us their house. We don't go in there trying to convince those people to sell their property to us. We go in there and try to listen for what their problem is so that we can solve that problem. That's it, guys. That is simply it. Once you do get that and you negotiate with that seller and you come up with a price that suits both of you guys, you put that property under contract. Now that you have a signed agreement with your seller and yourself, that gives you what's called equitable interest in that property. That allows you to go out and market your property or market your agreement that you have with that property to other end buyers, hence wholesaling. So you get the property for low and you sell it for low as well to your cash buyer database. Or if you've saved the reserves or you have the reserves as well, then of course you can cherry pick that deal and keep it for your personal portfolio, which is where it's all about, guys, growing your portfolio. And that's where the wealth building aspect of our business comes in, because you can make a lot of money wholesaling. But definitely, after you get involved with wholesaling, the next step would be to how can you hold some of these properties, or how can you control some of these properties to get more equity out of them in the future or have cash flow. So guys, again, I don't want to confuse you with too many different angles, but I definitely want you to know that in my opinion, as the channel says, Adventures in Wholesaling, I believe that wholesaling is the easiest way to get into investing. It has the lowest barrier of entry by far, in my opinion. And if you take a look at my channel, my videos, go to SeanYoungCoaches.com. I mean, I give away a ton of free information to help you, but I never say, this is all it takes is, watching YouTube University. Again, some folks are going to have success doing that, but the majority of people are going to need a path to follow, whether that's a coach or a course that they purchase. So never sell yourself short. Don't ever try to always go the cheap route, because a lot of times you get what you pay for. And a lot of those folks who are saying stuff like, hey, you don't need a coach, you don't need that. Listen, Michael Jordan had a coach. LeBron James today has a coach. Why would you want a coach? Guys, I spent upwards to $30,000 last year on networking groups and coaching to further advance my knowledge so that I could be a better value for my team and for my coaching students, so that I could be able to bring more value to anything that I'm involved with. Because remember, guys, how you do anything will be definitely how you do everything. So never sell yourself short. Never try to half-ass it in some area of life and then give it all you got in other areas. It does not work like that. If you want to be an excellent person and be an A player, strive to be an A player in all areas. Don't just be great at business, but then be a terrible husband or wife, or a terrible father or mother. Strive to be balanced in all areas, guys. There's a season and a time for everything. Don't always be in hustle mode, and don't always be in lazy mode either. Make sure that you balance it, plan it, and attack it with that plan. So guys, I hope that helps you out there. Again, Keep checking back because I'm going to keep dropping jewels for you guys and keep giving out nuggets and keep helping folks that want to help themselves get to the next level. This is my goal this year is to make at least 100 people millionaires this year. That's a goal of mine. Now, if I don't reach that goal, it's only because I have not prepared myself well enough to be able to deliver. So I challenge myself on a daily basis, just like I challenge you guys on a daily basis, to step your game up. Never be satisfied with mediocrity or being good. You want to be great. That is how you achieve success, guys. Focus will get you success. Laser focus, guys. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up now. So I hope that this has been helpful. I hope that I've been able to bring value to you all today, taking your time out to watch this video. If you have found value, please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video. Please share it with other like-minded people that might need help just like you do so that we can help more folks out here help themselves. All right, guys, schedule a consultation call with me. I'm giving free calls, guys, to see if we'd be a good match to be a one-on-one, fit for coaching. If not, go to my page and, grab the course, grab the free stuff. But I don't want you guys to be in the mindset, even if it's not my information that you guys utilize, don't stick yourself in the mind frame of looking for free things or looking for handouts. I'm telling you guys, I spent money myself last year to continue my education or to be part of masterminds, which would still do the exact same thing. Don't give up, guys. You can make it. Remember, success is a long, hard road, but quitting never speeds it up. All right, guys, this is Sean Young, also known as Supreme. Help me, help you, help us all. Peace.
With this crown on my head, I'm seated on the throne. The top is so alone. Only thing that keeps me going is I know my city love me.